Hello friends, today we'll discuss about the memory management in Spark. So here we are only talking about the memory of a Spark executor. Okay, we are not talking about the memory of Spark driver. So if you see that I have assigned 4 GB to Spark executors. So which is also called the heap memory. So 4 GB is equal to 4096 MB, and this is the syntax of setting as executor memory in Spark. Now, when we give this amount of memory to Spark, so it's divided into 4 parts. So the first part is the reserve memory. So 3 MB from this 4 GB will be used as a reserve memory. Okay, and that reserve memory will not be part of the Spark processing. Only few Spark object will be used. Only few Spark object will be stored in this reserve memory, and this reserve memory will not be part of the Spark processing. So what does it mean? Every time you have to set the executor memory, and executor memory should be greater than this 300 MB. We can say it should be greater than the 1.5 times of 300 MB. It means 450 MB. So more than 450 MB should be assigned to the Spark executor memory. Otherwise, it will give the out of memory error. Okay, so you cannot assign executor memory less than 450 MB, because 300 MB will be used as a reserve memory, and it will not be the part of the Spark processing. Now when I subtract 300 from this 4096, so remaining will be 3769 MB. Now this 3769 MB will be divided into 2 parts. One part will be the Spark memory and another part is the user memory. So now what is the user memory? User memory is the heap minus reserve memory. So heap memory is the 4096, which was assigned to executor memory, and reserve memory is the 300 MB into 1 minus spark.memory.fraction. So its default value is 0.75. So now heap minus reserve memory is equal to 3769. So 3769 into 1 minus 0.75, that is 2.25, equal to 949 MB. So 949 MB is the user memory, and this memory is used for storing the user information. Like when we create a Spark program, so it can have multiple RDDs. So you can have a child RDD, parent RDD. So each RDD has the information of its parent RDD. So that information is stored into this user memory. Okay, so which RDD connected to which RDD, so that kind of information is stored into this user memory. Now another thing is the Spark memory. So whatever is left is called the Spark memory. So what is the left part? So left part is heap minus reserve memory, so means 4096 minus 300, that is 3769, into Spark memory fraction. So 3769 into 0.75 will be 2826 MB. So you set the 4 GB as a Spark executor memory, and Spark is using only 2826 out of 4 GB as its processing. Now this Spark memory will be divided into 2 parts. One part is called the storage memory and another part is called the execution memory. Okay, so now, so we also have a fraction for dividing this memory. So that fraction is called the spark.memory.storage fraction. So with this fraction we can divide Spark memory in these 2 parts. So its default value is 0.5. Okay, so now when we multiply this Spark storage fraction with this Spark memory, so it will give 1413. So 1413 will be used as the storage memory, and another 1413 will use the execution memory. Now what is the storage memory? Storage memory means when you call the persistence and cache on RDD, it means when you store Spark objects, a Spark partition in, when you try to store a Spark partition in memory, So those partition are stored into this storage memory. Means when you call the rdd.cache or rdd.persist, then it is stored the partition into the memory. So those partition will be stored into this memory. And what is the execution memory? Execution memory means when you execute your program, so there is a data shuffling. Let's say you are using join in your transformation, so there will be a data shuffling. So now the shuffled data is stored into this execution memory. So these two memory parts are very important for Spark execution memory. So let's say you have divided these two parts into 1413 MB. 1413 is here, 1413 is here, right? Let's say execution memory is using only 500 MB. So now remaining memory, that is around 900 MB, will be used by this storage memory if storage memory borrowed that memory from this execution memory. So what is the meaning of borrow? Let's say if storage memory required some more memory other than this 1413 memory, then it can borrow remaining amount of memory from this part. So that is the dynamic memory management. So now what is the storage memory? So it's mainly used to store Spark cache data such as RDD cache, broadcast variable, unroll, and so on. Execution memory, it is mainly used to store temporary data, that is means data shuffle and all, use and join, sort, and aggregation. User memory, it is mainly used to store the data needed for RDD conversion operations such as information for RDD dependency. Reserved memory, the memory is reserved for system and it used to stores Spark internal objects. Okay, now we talk about the borrowed space. So storage occupies the other party's memory and transfer the occupied part to the hard disk and then rerun the borrowed space. Execution occupies the other party's memory and it cannot make to return the borrowed space in the current implementation because the file generated by the shuffle process will be used later and the data in the cache is not necessarily used later. Returning the memory may cause serious performance degradation. So what does it mean? Let's say if the storage part borrows some uh, space from execution part, so it can re-return if it is not used in the storage. Okay, let's say storage part borrowed some space from the execution part, and if storage part transfers data to the disk instead of memory, then it can return the borrowed part to the execution device. But if the execution process borrows uh, some space from the storage, so it will not return because this space can be used in the shuffling process, because execution process not going to free up this space until the complete process get executed. So it can be used later if it another thing is the Spark off heap memory. So what is the off heap memory? So memory which is not the part of the heap is called the off heap memory, and that off heap memory is not cleaned up by the garbage collector. So whosoever is creating the off heap memory is mainly responsible to free the off heap memory. So off heap memory is disabled, but we can enable it by the spark.memory.offheap.enable parameter and set the memory size by the spark.memory.offheap.size parameter. Compared to the on heap memory, the model of the off heap memory is relatively simple, including only storage memory and execution memory. So what's mean? Whatever you set in off heap will be used by only two categories: storage memory and execution memory. They will not be part of the uh, user memory and permanent memory. So off heap memory and on heap memory. So executor act as a JVM process and its memory management is based on the JVM. So JVM memory management includes two methods. On heap memory management, objects are allocated on the JVM heap and bounded by the GC. So GC will clear the JVM, clear the object stored into the JVM heap. Off-heap memory management objects are allocated in memory outside the JVM by serialization managed by the application and are not bounded by the GC. So off-heap memory is not cleared by the GC. This memory management method can avoid frequent GC, but the disadvantage is that you have to write the logic of memory allocation and memory release. Now this is the general uh, way of memory use, how the spark, how spark use this these kind of memory. So first, spark program try to occupy the memory into heap. If it find, then it's good. If it does not find the space, then it goes to the off heap. If it still is does not, if it still it does not find the space, then it goes to the disk. So off heap is used to increase the performance. Now this is the syntax. So when you assign off heap memory to Spark, so you can see that this is the executor and three tasks are running in one executor, and they are using the on heap memory, and with that they are also using the off heap memory for their data storage and data processing. So this is some extra memory. So this was all about the memory management in Spark program. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe my channel.